I hope this video finds you having a great day. Because I am. Let me tell you something. Today, I have been at a point, I guess reached a point, that's a better way to phrase that. I've reached a point in my journey with deconstructing where it's a little bittersweet. Because I had a conversation today, and with this person, I tend to go down a lot of rabbit trails. And we were talking about, I don't know how we got onto this subject, but we got into the subject of periods and how the Bible treats it. That is the most confusing thing for me to understand. And when I was learning about it, it just didn't make any sense to me. Because let's put this into context. The most natural thing about being a woman is something that is just as filthy and unclean as a dead animal's carcass. Please make that make sense. Not to mention, back then in biblical times, women were basically quarantined monthly. And the other amazing thing in my study, and this is where I say it is bittersweet, because questioning all of the things in the church has really given me the opportunity for discovery. See, it's not always a bad thing. I've discovered that something that I was taught to basically just tolerate, for lack of a better word, and just put up with because, I am a woman, is probably one of the most awesome things about us. Because as it turns out, that very blood that comes from our body, and I knew this, but because I had been taught to despise it and to think of it something as nasty and filthy and disgusting, that same blood is what treats people, with cancer. That same blood. I had been doing research on things, what do they call it? STEM therapy. STEM therapy helps with bone marrow transplants. It even, just off the riff from AI, Google, treating age-related blindness, cystic fibrosis. It has been used to treat people with heart attacks. What's coming out of your body every month. These things. It's helped with things like leukemia and blood cancers, autoimmune diseases, which, by the way, women are tending to leave this earth faster from than some of the other things. Organ transplant tolerance. And, think about it, just within the last few decades or a couple of decades, they had been using things like cord blood to treat and having women donate theirs because of all the amazing things that they can do. Dear hearts, this is what sheds out of our bodies every month. Because think about it. When babies are born, it is because our linings in our bodies did not shed. It just kept building and growing and multiplying as it was growing that baby. And I know this may repulse some people, but there are even women that take their placenta and they consume it because it has so many awesome benefits to our bodies that are recovering from all of the I don't want to say trauma, but all of the changes and all of the demands that the pregnancy put on the body. It was because, again, that placenta is a collection of all the things that your body donated. Because when your body is preparing to give birth and creating that baby, it is pulling all of the things out of your body. That's why it's so important not just to prepare and be careful with your body before you, when you are pregnant. It's just as much imperative that you do all of this before you even become pregnant, because your body is drawing everything from your bones, your cells, everything that was already in your body once you began to conceive. Because think about it, that egg is a cell that's been sitting in your body, absorbing. So we are awesome. And like I said, back to my original point, we were taught to think of that as the most disgusting thing. Like I said, back in biblical times, if a woman was on her cycle and she sat on something, that thing had to be sanitized. That's how we were treated. And even though we're not treated like we're in quarantine anymore, we still are taught to have an aversion to this life-giving thing that our bodies just does naturally. It was in an article, and I'm going to attach the articles, because of course now that after all these thousands of years that, period blood has been treated as a waste product, they are now trying to find ways to profit from it. So think about it. And I'm sorry, I have people mowing lawns outside. I'm going to move to another space. But it's no longer being treated that way. They see the beauty in it and the healing power. And I know I'm probably going to get some flack for this, but y'all can talk about the blood that came from a man. But when was the last time the blood from a man created another life? Riddle me that. When has that blood healed somebody else's body as the one that they claim in the book? I'm going to go back to calling it the book. So this deconstruction thing, it has been marvelous. Yeah, you think about it, if you are having your cycle, and even if you are not anymore, you are still magical, because you still hold everything in your body that helped create that blood. You do. Whether you have your womb or not, or your ovaries or not, you still needed everything in your body to create that blood. That blood that they teach us is filthy, a filthy rag, as they say. That blood that just, our whole bodies, because I remember when I was nursing my kids, and that's when I really learned about all the awesome and wonderful things that just simple breast milk could do, and how it is used for patients going through chemotherapy. And it is used to help clear up things like ear infections and conjunctivitis. Your very essence is what's helping and healing people. And don't you ever let anybody tell you anything different.